Hello students, in this video I am going to discuss with you the mechanism of replication. Okay, this is the part of the molecular basis of DNA chapter. So this is the replication, the basics of DNA we have done. Now we will discuss how the DNA replication that takes place. Okay, in this syllabus of this chapter we are going to basically discuss the DNA replication in prokaryotes. Okay, in prokaryotes, and here specially it is we are going to discuss on the E. coli bacteria. Okay, we will see how DNA replication takes place in the E. coli bacteria. Okay, so there are three different steps there in the mechanism of replication. First we will discuss the initiation process of DNA replication. Then we will discuss elongation process, and then we will discuss termination. Okay, these are the three steps of DNA replication. Okay, actually there is no such stages in the replication of DNA in bacteria. It is just for us to understand the mechanism. Okay, we divided the entire DNA replication process in three different stages. Okay, so this replication of DNA, actually what is the meaning of replication? Forming replica means from the old strand of the DNA new strands of DNA is developed. Okay, that is the process of replication we will discuss. Okay, so first of all, before now see in this video I am going to discuss only the initiation process. In my second video elongation, in the third video termination. Okay, so little long process mechanism of DNA. Okay, so one by one we will understand this. So this replication mechanism, first of all I am going to give you a background of DNA replication. So in a process, actually E. coli bacteria, if we see how these bacteria they give rise to the new bacteria is a single cell, right? So how this cell or a bacteria give rise to the new cell. Suppose it's a bacteria here, okay, with some DNA present here, okay, with some DNA is here present. Okay, now these cells, the cell, suppose it's a bacteria, E. coli bacteria. Okay, now this cell is going to develop, differentiate, so it is becoming larger in the size. So it's become larger in size. Okay, with the genetic material inside it. Okay, so slowly, step by step, if we see, it will start. It will keep on increasing in size. Okay, with the genetic material inside it, DNA. Clear? Now, if we see, when the cell differentiation is happening, the cell is increasing inside, means the volume of cytoplasm is increasing in amount. As the cell increases in size, the volume of cytoplasm increases. Now we see in this cell at this stage, the volume of cytoplasm is much more in compared to the genetic material, right? So cytoplasm volume is increasing but genetic material remains same, and because of this, okay, to divide it in a equal manner, the cell divides. Okay, so then what happens? The cell divides into two cells. Understood? So a new two cell division that takes place, okay, with the genetic material present. And now you see, in compared to the DNA material, genetic material, the cytoplasm is almost equal. So here it is was the little different. Cytoplasmic volume is much more higher than the genetic material. That's why it needs to divide into two new cells. So this is how basically this cell that divide and give rise to the new cell. Okay, so this DNA replication, this is what cell division, the cell how divides it. Okay, now you see the genetic material also copied. That is where our topic is, replication of DNA. Okay, so the DNA replication basically takes place in the S phase. Okay, if you remember the cell cycle mechanism, so we see the three stages are the G1, S and G2 in the interphase stage of cell cycle. Okay, so in the G1 phase some proteins develop, okay, which are required further for the process of replication also and further divisions also. S phase is where the DNA replication actually takes place, that we are going to discuss about. Okay, the DNA replication that takes place in the S phase, synthesis phase, and that decides whether the cell will undergo further division, further processes or not. If DNA replication is not done properly, okay, the cell will not undergo further processes of division. Okay, so that is why before entering into this S phase, okay, it is checked properly. There is a phase called G1 checkpoint, where it is checked properly that everything is okay in the cell or not. Then only the cell undergo DNA replication process in the S phase, and if it is done successfully, then only the cell will undergo the further division. So once it completes the interphase of the G2 phase, it will undergo the division process, karyokinesis and cytokinesis. Okay, so this is the phase where the replication takes place. You have to remember this. Okay, now let's get into this E. coli bacteria. Okay. Okay, so DNA in a E. coli bacteria is normally a circular DNA. Okay, there is one extra chromosomal circular DNA concept. I am not talking about that. I am talking about the chromosomal DNA, which is circular in nature in bacteria mostly. Okay, so normally we have seen in our cell it is a straight DNA with a helical structure, but in bacteria, E. coli particularly, we see the circular DNA. Okay, now if we look into the DNA, circular DNA, what we will see. So for to avoid confusion, let's make a linear DNA. I'm not drawing the circular DNA right now. So there is a linear DNA here in the E. coli bacteria. Okay, and what we see here, we see some specific sequences. Okay, initiation that we are discussing about right now. We are discussing the initiation process. Okay, so to initiate our replication process, okay, a specific sequence of DNA we have to see first. We have to understand that sequence first. Okay, so let me just draw it another way. Suppose it's a sequence of DNA, okay, where we see 4 subsequent sequences, okay, 4 subsequent sequences which are 9 base pair long. So 4 such sequences, okay, which are 9 base pair long. Okay, so I'm just writing here. So 4 sequences with 9 base pair long. Okay, 4 sequences with 9 base pair long in the DNA of the bacteria. Okay, these sequences are known as replication, recognition sequence. Okay, replication, recognition sequence. These are the sequences. Clear? This sequence is also known as DNA box. Why? We will see that later on. Now, just little upstream of this sequence, just little upstream of this sequence in the same DNA, if we go, as is a circular DNA, so I am just carving this DNA. Okay, so just little upstream of this sequence, what we see, another three subsequent sequences we see, which are 13 base pair long. Okay, so three subsequent sequences, okay, in the DNA strand, which are 13 base pair long. So these are the three sequences with 13 base pair long. Clear? Now this sequence in the DNA, this is known as origin of replication. So origin of replication. So these original replications are different names are there, ORIC, ORIB. Okay, so let us give it ORIC. So origin of replication. This sequence is origin of replication. This sequence is replication recognition sequence. Okay, so the initiation process, okay, that starts with these two sequences. These are the specific sequences in the circular DNA of E. coli bacteria, which actually initiates the process of this one, initiation. First replicate, that initiates the replication process. Okay, so now see this replication, after we get these sequences, okay, now I am going to talk to you about replication bubble. Okay, after getting the sequences, the mechanism of replication that starts with the formation of replication bubble. Okay, now how this replication bubble forms? Okay, we will see that in the origin of replication, in this sequence where the replication bubbles develop. Okay, now if we see, just suppose it's a straight DNA. I am not drawing the circular DNA right now. Okay, just suppose it's a small segment of the E. coli bacteria DNA. Okay, small segment of bacteria. Now, suppose this is the origin of replication, this area. Okay, so this is the origin of replication, ORIC. So replication bubble is going to develop here. Okay, so if replication bubble develops, then how it will look like? Okay, how it will look like? I'm just showing you one. Understood? It will look like this. So let me just rub this part. I'm just showing you here. This kind of bubble develops. Okay, and as this is a circular DNA, so if I make it like this, okay, understood? This is the origin of replication where the bubble is formed. Clear? Now, if you look at this part, okay, if you look at this area and this area, these two region in the replication bubble, how these two area looks like? Doesn't it look like this? Okay, so these are called replication fork, Y-shaped structure developed on two sides of the replication bubble. So these are Y-shaped fork, or is a replication fork. Understood? So replication fork develops on two sides of the replication bubble. Okay, and now this is what actually, this is the area where the bonds are broken. Okay, the DNA melts in this area. This is called DNA melting. DNA melts in this area. The bond, the hydrogen bond, even the nitrogenous bases, are broken down here. Okay, so the strands separated from each other. That is what is called the DNA melting, and the bubble is formed. Okay. Now then what will happen? This bubble will starts stretching on both the sides. So the melting will be on both the sides. So in clockwise direction, this bubble will move in this side, and anti-clockwise also in this sides. It will be, the melting, that is strands of DNA. Okay. So the hydrogen bonds will be breaking down on both the sides here. Okay. And that is what the melting. Along with the melting in the same, okay, simultaneously, a new DNA strand also will be developing. So as the melting goes in this direction or in this direction, okay, the bonds will be broken, the strands will be separated, and from each parent strand, okay, of the DNA, two DNA new strands are going to develop. So in the same direction. Okay, in this way it will be forming. Now this is the site where it's supposed to, both the replication fork will coming in this direction and they will meet here. So where the replication will stop. This is where from both the sides the melting will be happening, replication will be happening. This is the site, this is the location where from both the sides they will meet here, the replication will stop here. So when this will reach here, okay, the new DNA will be developed by the time. So when the new DNA will be developed, okay, then how it will look like? This is the parent DNA strand, the circular one, and when the new DNA will be forming along with this, okay, let me just do one thing, okay. If I keep the same color, then you will understand this better. You understand this? The blue one is this, the parent circular DNA, and the green one is the new DNA strand that forms. So they will be like this. In this situation, the new DNA strand will be. So what then we have to do? We have to cleave at this one location of the DNA, and then we have to separate the newly formed DNA from the parent DNA. Understood? So this is how the formation, the replication will be happening here. Okay. Now, so we can see here by the formation of replication bubble, the DNA will start developing. Okay. Now we will be seeing the next part here. Now you will see how this bubble that forms. Our next understanding would be how this bubble forms. Okay. So it's an overall picture. We understood the sequences also. Okay. Now this is the after forming sequence, we got this replication bubble is going to develop, and ultimately this is going to come. Now we have to see here, let's come back to this position. We have to understand how this replication bubble develops here. Okay. And where it is happening? In the origin of replication. Remember this. So this is this location, origin of replication, the sequencing here. Okay. So what happens is that, see here, this is the replication recognition sequence. The process of forming the bubble, okay, two proteins are required, means two enzymes are required. Okay, what are those enzymes? First we need two enzymes. One is DNA A, another is DNA B. Okay, this is the site where the DNA A is going to bind. Okay, so multiple DNA A is going to bind in this location. Replication recognition sequence, 4 sequences, and each of the sequence 9 base pair long. Okay, this is the site where the DNA is supposed to bind. So that is why this sequence is also known as DNA box. Okay. Now this DNA that binds here, what exactly it is doing? What is the function of DNA A in this box DNA box area or replication recognition sequence. This DNA actually creates here negative supercoil. Creates negative supercoil. Okay, it means that, see, when the fork will be developed here, it will be start breaking the hydrogen bonds. Okay, now just imagine this is the fork here. Okay, this is the one side of the fork I am showing you. From the bubble, one of the fork I am showing you. Okay, so look at here, the bonds already broken here, so the white developed here. Now here still the bonds are there, it will be breaking. Understood? So now what will happen is that once this side will start breaking down, chances that this another side of the DNA will get supercoiled. Will get a thread, a twisted thread if you ever tried to open from one end. I hope that you would have experienced another side of the thread starts supercoiling. DNA also has the same thing. Okay, and that is why what happens is that this DNA creates negative supercoil. So it binds with this sequence and it prevents the supercoiling. Understood? So that the melting of the DNA, okay, can be done without any problem. Understood? So DNA enzyme function is clear to you. Now look at here, this original replication, this sequence. Okay, so let's rub these things. Okay, now what happens is that now the second enzyme DNA B, okay, goes here and binds here. So DNA enzyme goes and binds here on both the sides of the sequence. DNA enzyme binds here. Okay, and once the DNA binds here, okay, with the ATP hydrolyze process, it breaks down the hydrogen bonds in between the two strands. We know that in between the two strands, in between the sequence, the hydrogen bonds are there. We know it. So this DNA once binds with this sequence, original replication, with the ATP hydrolyze. Okay, with the ATP hydrolyze, it will break down the hydrogen bonds here. Understood? So the process of melting started. I hope you are getting what I am saying. Now see, one problem here is that DNA-B on its own cannot bind in this sequence. Okay, it needs DNA-C. It needs DNA-C to help the DNA-B to bind with this sequence. So 6 DNA-C enzyme and the 6 DNA-B enzyme, okay, they together form a complex, DNA-B-C complex. Okay, so DNA-B-C complex. Clear? This enzyme complex binds here in the sequence. So it's a hexameric structure. The DNA-BC complex is a hexameric structure. It means six DNA-C and 6 DNA-B. So 6, this is suppose DNA-C here, okay, and 6 DNA-B. Understood? It's a hexameric structure. This is the complex that going to bind here. Okay, and with the ATP hydrolyze, it will break down the bonds. Clear? So now I am just rubbing this part. Okay, I hope this much is clear to you. Okay, so what happens, how the complex binds? Suppose this is the strand, okay, DNA strands here, okay, and the complex, the hexameric complex that binds in one of the strand, okay, this is DNA C and DNA B is here. This complex binds here. In one of the strand, binding to one of the strand is sufficient for this complex to break down the bonds, hydrogen bonds. Okay. So the hydrogen bonds which were here, okay, and this part the hydrogen bonds are broken down. Understood? So this is how the melting will be started. Will start. Okay, of the hydrogen bonds. Clear? And as the melting starts, you can understand the bubble replication fork is going to develop here. Replication bubble or replication fork is going to develop. Listen, one thing to remember: this DNA-B that binds here, DNA-B which is used in the prokaryotic DNA for replication purpose. The same DNA-B in the eukaryotic organism, it is the helicase enzyme. Understood? Same function, helicase enzyme and the DNA-B. DNA-B in the prokaryotes, helicase in the eukaryotes. So now the replication bubble, the Y fork. Okay, so melting. So this is the bonds are already broken down here. Hydrogen bonds melted by the complex, and these are still here. The complex, let me draw the complex here, the hexameric complex. Okay, so it's helped with breaking down the bonds, melting. It's happening in melting. So you can understand automatically. Okay, it is breaking. The melting is happening with the help of this hexameric complex, enzyme complex. Okay, so now after this, once this is happening, remember there is a possibility of reannealing in the DNA. Reannealing means what? The area which were melted already, the bonds broken down. Okay, DNA's tendency is that they will again get recoil. That is called reannealing. It may happen. Okay, so to prevent that reannealing, one enzyme acts here. Okay, this enzyme is known as the, so many enzymes on both the sides of the strands, you can say on both the strands. Okay, the enzymes binds here, and these enzymes are known as SSBP, single strand binding proteins. Okay, so singly, separately, the enzymes will bind to the strands, and these enzymes will prevent the strands to reanneal, to recoil. Understood? So it holds the strands separate from each other. Clear? SSBP enzymes here. Okay. Now, once this is done, now the next step comes here, that is called priming. Okay. A small segment of RNA will be developed here. Okay. From the DNA itself, a small segment of RNA is going to develop, which is known as the RNA primer. Okay. There is an enzyme called DNAG, which is also known as primase enzyme, or we can say RNA polymer. Okay, so this enzyme is going to bind here. Suppose this enzyme binds here. This is the DNAG enzyme. Okay, and what it is doing actually, it forms a small segment of RNA. A small segment of RNA forms here. Clear? And remember one thing, that in this segment of RNA, this is the 5' end, this is the 3' hydroxyl end. RNA, if you remember, hydroxyl is there. So it is the 5', this 3' hydroxyl end. Okay? Now the thing is that once the RNA strand comes and binds here, okay, then only the DNA, okay, well, remember one more thing, to form this RNA strand, one more substance is required along with this enzyme, ribonucleotides. Ribonucleotide, this is the nucleotide molecule that forms the RNA, will come and bind here and forming the small segment of RNA. Clear? Now further, once the RNA fixed here, further elongation of the chain by the deoxyribonucleotides. Those are the nuclear molecule of the DNA. So here DNA polymerase will start functioning from here. Okay? DNA polymerase enzyme will start functioning from here. Now remember, one very special feature of the DNA polymerase is that it acts from 5' to 3' direction. It never functions from 3' to 5' direction. So you can see here 5' to 3' direction, the chain is elongating. So if this is the 5', this is the 3' here, this is the 5' here. So 5' and this side will be the 3' here. This is the 5' here, this is 3' here. Now you can understand, in this strand, the replication will start from this area, from this side, in this direction. Because according to polarity, this is the 3'. So 5' will be here. Okay, and this will be the 3' side. So RNA primer will be developed here for the first. And then from here, DNA polymerase will be replicating in this direction. So in one strand, the replication will be moving into this direction, that is 5' to 3', and in this strand into this opposite direction, but 5' to 3' direction. Okay, this is the property of DNA polymerase, that it acts from 5' to 3'. So replication of DNA, we can understand from here, replication of DNA continues, or it happens 5' to 3' direction. It never 3' to 5' direction. This is the property of the DNA polymerase. Okay, for the forming of the RNA primer, so here also initially a RNA primer will be developed here. Okay, so which is helped by this enzyme and these nucleotides, and then the DNA polymerase will be developing further, will be helped in developing the DNA strand with the deoxyribonucleotides from here and from here. Okay, so this elongation process, just I have given you the little concept. Elongation, this step we will discuss in the next video. Okay, so this is what we have discussed, the initiation, how the replication of DNA initiates. Okay, so I hope you understood the initiation mechanism, that we have discussed about two sequences in the beginning. Okay, then we have discussed the name of the sequences, and then we have seen how the DNA melts with the help of enzymes and how the replication bubble forms. Okay, and how this replication bubble forms and this Y replicating fork develops. Okay, how this complex melts the DNA, how the strands reanimating stopped by the enzyme, by the SSPP, and how the initiation of the chain formation starts by the RNA primer, on both the strands RNA primer. Okay, so these are the initial stage. This is the RNA primer. This is also the RNA primer, a small segment of RNA. Clear? And then the DNA will be started forming. Understood? With the help of deoxyribonucleotides. So detail of this elongation I will discuss in my next video. Okay, so whatever you understood from this video, initiation step, please make your own notes by the understanding. See this watch this video again and again, grow your understanding, make your note out of it, and make in such a way that it can be, you can write this in the examination. Okay, so thank you so much for watching the video. Okay, wait for the next video where I'll discuss about the elongation. Okay, thank you.